Hello, and welcome back. This is Jessa Francis. I am so happy to have you here with me at the Kim Circle podcast. This is a place where we are exploring self-discovery, wellness, and living with intention. I am your host, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. I would like to offer you just this quick moment, an invitation to take a big, deep inhale in, and then a slow, smooth exhale out. Today, we're diving into a topic that has the power to transform your relationship with yourself and your well-being. Sober curiosity, mindful drinking. The idea that we have the ability to own our relationship with alcohol. Now, if you know me, you know that beyond the Kim Circle, I have been working in the alcohol-free beverage industry for almost half a decade now. I am a founding member of the alcohol-free bottle shop Sèche that is located here in Charleston, South Carolina. And beyond that, I started up my own alcohol-free beverage consultancy called Untoxicated. And over this past weekend, I spent 5 amazing days in Washington, D.C., staying with my beautiful friend, Anahata, who just opened up her own alcohol-free bottle shop in Union Market in D.C. called the Plant Magic Bottle Shop, where she is curating an incredibly beautiful selection of alcohol-free products that are clean and preservative-free. I have been working with her behind the scenes for quite a while now and supporting her in starting up this space and helping make sure that her selection is truly beneficial for the mind, body, and spirit. And as I was spending time there and participating in the Mindful Drinking Fest, I was also helping out at Curious Elixirs, where I have been supporting them as well, and have recently joined their team and have started helping behind the scenes with a brand that I have known and love for several years now. If you have not heard of Curious Elixirs, I implore you, go to curiouselixirs.com, take a look for yourself at all of their amazing products. They have 9 different flavors. Each flavor has different adaptogens and botanical ingredients that not only will help boost your mood and help you feel better, but it also support your immunity. So some really amazing things with really rich, bold flavors, very different from anything else out there on the market. And this is coming from someone who has tasted and tried thousands of products. Now, I wanted to talk about what it means to step into mindful drinking and mindful thinking. Right? Today, we're going to explore how mindful thinking is the foundation for mindful drinking, how alcohol-free products can support this journey, and how stepping into sober curiosity can lead to a better overall health and a deeper sense of self-awareness. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and give myself one extra breath. I also, while I was there, taught a mind-body integration class, and this is my second year at the Mindful Drinking Fest. And last year, we got a lot of feedback about integrating more wellness activations, and I was so honored to be given a slot on the agenda and to provide this short little class where we did some breath work, we did some light meditation, we talked about the intersection between the physical body and our emotions. And I think it just really inspired me to talk more about what comes first, right? At a mindful drinking fest, we are looking at um, a lot of, that this idea that we do not need to be controlled by substances, specifically alcohol, right? We do not want to get caught up in addiction, right? There's so many of us, and we're, various levels of sobriety. Some are fully sober, some are just cutting back. And this is not about like sobriety. This is truly about mindfulness, right? And seeing what is the best thing for you. Now, you may be like me and you can start off sober curious, start off very mindful, and the next thing you know, you're just like, why would I drink when I have all of these delicious alternatives for one, but delicious alternatives that actually support me and my body and are going to help me live a longer, healthier, more successful life? You start recognizing that alcohol is poison. The Surgeon General just came out and said, alcohol is a carcinogen. It does cause cancer. Now, we've known this for a really long time, but having an advocate like that to come out and say, yeah, we put all the labels on cigarettes. Now we're putting all the labels on alcohol because it is poison. This is not a healthy substance for us to put in our body. And I therefore have a lot to say about preservatives as well, because the blending of different preservatives such as sodium benzoate and citric acid also become a carcinogen. And I I think it's very, very important for us to become aware of this. Now, sodium benzoate is a very, very commonly used preservative. If you become a label reader like me and you start picking up boxes at the grocery store, your ketchups and condiments and anything that is shelf stable, the mass majority of them are going to have this product in it. Now, we're already mass consuming this product, or this ingredient, I should say. And so a lot of people are just going to go out there, well, I'm already consuming it, why not drink it too? And I just think it's important to say maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't be consuming it. Maybe you need to pay more attention. Maybe it's time now more than ever. If you, like, my best friend was diagnosed with cancer this last year, and it has been a shocker to my system, to see someone I love, be diagnosed at such a young age. And it's becoming more rampant. I don't think a single person out there does not have a family or friend that has not been diagnosed with cancer of some form at some time. And it's just rising and rising and rising. And it's time for us to take a stand. It's time for us to say enough is enough with the ultra processed foods, with the harmful preservatives. There are better methods and ways out there. And we do have the ability to take more control. So I would like to, quickly, I guess, define sober curiosity, which I think is pretty straightforward. But I mean, it's just questioning your relationship. It's getting curious about how alcohol is impacting your life, questioning your relationship with alcohol without necessarily committing to full-time sobriety. We're not judging, we're not laying these hard lines. It's just an invitation to explore how drinking affects your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Now, I have talked about mindful drinking in the past a lot, and it is just taking a curious glance and more ownership over what you are consuming, right? For many of us, drinking has become a very normalized part of socializing, unwinding, and celebrating. But how often do we pause, right, to take a breath and say, how does this serve me? Is this really beneficial? Is this really something I want to do? Or am I doing it because the rest of society is doing it? Does it really align with my goals and values? We're here at the Kim Circle to talk about self-discovery, wellness, and living with intention. Now, we have to do this when, especially around things that are very normal in everyday society, right? That are just, these are common ways of living life. We drink, we smoke, we eat fast food, especially, in the Western world. These are just normal parts of everyday life. And those are the big things that we really, really need to pay more attention to. So to sit down and ask yourself that. When was the last time you drank? Why did you drink? And how did it make you feel? Did it benefit you? Just ask yourself without judgment, just curiosity. Is this really something that you want in your life? And what could you do to potentially shift the script, to see things in a different way, to potentially find different products that could replace that and still give you the same ritual, right? A lot of it comes down to ritual. If, say, you don't want to have caffeine in your system anymore. Speaking of anahata, my friend that opened up Plant Magic, she doesn't drink caffeine anymore, but she drinks decaf every morning with her cacao and maybe some different mushrooms and different, like lion's mane and reishi mushroom and things like that are going to support her cognition and her stress levels and things like that, right? She has the ritual of drinking still without the actual caffeine. So that is what these products provide. It is kind of like a placebo, if you will, right? So ask yourself, what role, right, does alcohol currently play in your life? What could you change if you approached it with curiosity instead of those autopilot habits that so many of us are operating on? And now I want to talk about the role of mindful thinking. And I think that's already so obvious. By asking ourselves these questions, by potentially putting pen to paper and journaling about these things, we're already stepping into the role of mindful thinking, right? Sober curiosity starts in the mind with a shift in how we think, right? So let's talk about that. Mindful drinking is impossible without mindful thinking. Mindful thinking means bringing awareness to your choices, questioning your habits, and tuning into your body's signals. It's about breaking free from the stories we tell ourselves about why we need a specific alcohol or substance or any form of escapism to relax, to fit in, to cope. What is it that you are using in your life, even if it's not alcohol, right? And I think that is so important for us to talk about, especially when we're going to a mindful drinking fest. Why are we going to a mindful drinking fest? Because we are being more mindful, because we are stepping in to taking better care of ourselves, right? So I would like to invite you to do a little reflection exercise. Take a moment, like I said, to think about the last time you had a drink. Why did you have it? What were you feeling before you drank, after you drank? Did it meet your expectations? Did it support you the next day? Was it something that you feel really good about? Or is it something that you know that you have an issue with? What could support that? What could you have done instead? Right? And I encourage a whole lot of self compassion. You've got to have self compassion. This isn't about judgment or shame, it's about awareness. Mindfulness invites us to observe without criticism so we can make choices that truly serve us. Right? And so now I want to kind of transition. Mindful thinking leads to mindful action, right? And one powerful tool for change is exploring your alcohol-free options, right? And alcohol-free drinks give you the opportunity to enjoy, like I said, the rituals of socializing, celebrating, relaxing without compromising your health or your goals. They're a bridge to new habits. And that's why I have been such a huge advocate of this space. That's why I was so excited when I started supporting Sachet and why I continued forward with Intoxicated. That's why I'm sitting here at this in this chair giving this lecture now, right? Is because it's so important, right, to have that thing. And maybe it's just a sparkling water. Maybe it's a sparkling water that you add juice and bitters to, right? And you make a spritz. Maybe it's just fresh herbs. Maybe you add a zero proof spirit and you have an elevated cocktail. Maybe it's just a warm herbal tea. These options can be just as celebratory and comforting. And that's what I want you to think of next. So, say your normal thing is to get that cold beer out of the fridge right after work. What if it switched over to a bitters and soda, right? What if it, instead of that old fashioned or that drum of whiskey at the end of the day, what if it was a curious elixir or a Rasa drink or an herbal tea? Right? What if we gave ourselves something soothing and comforting? Or there's even all the alcohol-free wines, sparkling wines. There's so many different things out there that will really, really help you transition from one to the other. Now, one of my favorite things to do now anymore and is, like I said, I already have my favorite products, but I really just love tea. I drink tea for every occasion now. And I also love sparkling water with all the bitters. Now, all the bitters comes in multiple different flavors. They have a cherry flavored like New Orleans. They have a orange. They have an aromatic. They have a lavender. They have so many amazing flavors. And not only are they bursting with flavor, they're also adaptogenic. They're supportive of your digestive health. Like I said, these products are going above and beyond. And I can have that midday. I can have that in place of any cocktail. I can carry it in my purse and put it in my sparkling water at a restaurant. And then I also have like my favorite brands. And like I said, I like to use very clean, healthy products. Curious Elixirs, Rasa, Parch agave cocktails, DRAM is very lovely. There's quite a few different things out there that, and if you're curious to know, please let me know in the show notes, and I will make a whole list or I'll send you probably my Substack. My Substack, jessafrancis.substack.com, is filled with articles that talk about this specific thing. Now, another thing that I think is really important is building a support system. One of the Kim Circle members recently said that the opposite of addiction is community. And I thought that was so beautiful, because changing habits isn't easy, but you don't have to do it alone, right? Finding like-minded people who support your journey is key. And that's one of the things that was so amazing about the Mindful Drinking Fest, is it's people coming together that are all focused on the same thing, being the best that they can be. And so whether it's a sober curious group, a yoga class, friends who embrace your choices, having a support system can make all of the difference. So there are so many amazing tools available today, from alcohol-free bottle shops to online communities, and even apps that track your progress and celebrate your milestone. If you have not listened to my podcast with the Delightful app, you just roll back into, it was a couple months ago now, but the Untoxicated and Delightful, I got to talk to them about their work creating an app that was focused on supporting this movement, supporting the brands, the bottle shops, right? And if you go to Zero Proof Nation, my beautiful friend Laura has a map that covers the globe of all the alcohol-free bottle shops, all the products. It is an absolute amazing resource for anyone looking to get curious about sobriety, right? And then, of course, what do we have? We have the Kim Circle membership. Now, everyone in the Kim Circle is focused on self-awareness, mindfulness, self-discovery, living with intention, showing up and honoring the truth of your heart. And I would love to have you join me in the Kim Circle, and find that like-minded group and that community that get together as often as once a week and have the chance to connect and find new friends, right? So to recap, we talked about sober curiosity begins with mindful thinking. We talked about some alcohol-free products that can empower you. I challenge you to approach your next drink with mindfulness. Ask yourself, do I truly want this? What might happen if I chose something different? Just get curious. And if you're looking for inspiration, you can check out my website, untoxicated.world, or like I said, my Substack, jessafrancis.substack.com, where there is just so much amazing information and several resources. I also offer a mindfulness membership, which is only $11 a month, that has affirmations, journaling prompts, tips on mindful drinking, the products, and all of those things. So check that out as well if you just want to kind of dip your toe in. That's a really great way to do it. But I think that's it for this episode. I had such an amazing time at the Mindful Drinking Fest. My mind-body integration class, we ended up covering the emotions in the body, which was really beautiful, and probably what I'll talk about next week. So I'll be going over how the body keeps the score, and how we need to pay more attention to the physical body when we are experiencing our emotions, particularly anger, sadness, happiness, and fear, right? And giving you some tips and tricks on how to be more aware of yourself, and how to recognize that the mind and body are intertwined, that they need to be used and moved together, and to be honored with how you show up for yourself. So I just want to say thank you for joining me in this episode of the Cam Circle. To remember that every small step towards mindfulness is a step towards greater freedom and authenticity. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Until next time, stay curious, stay mindful, and take care of yourself. And please breathe.